Helldivers 2 is finally out, and what a game launch it was, with plenty of drama, issues, and a lot of good gameplay. And I'm here to tell you about my journey through it all, and most importantly to answer the question, was the hype even worth it? First of all, I should address the issues. Like most hyped, freshly released games nowadays, you kind of expect them to break day one, due to everyone and their guard dog drone trying to log in all at once. And with close to 70,000 loyal liberators ready to spread democracy, Helldivers 2 was no exception. Immediately, the Helldivers 2 Discord help channel filled up to the brim with people experiencing connection issues, bugs, and hard crashes. I also experienced some of these bugs, but luckily, most of my issues were solved by restarting the game. To give you a taste though, these were reports ranging from players not being able to queue up into quick play, all the way to their entire game progress resetting every time they restarted the game, and having to go through the tutorial again. Most of my issues were disconnects, and let me tell you, spending close to 40 minutes fighting for every inch on Helldive difficulty, where your entire screen is filled to the brim with stuff trying to eviscerate you, only to have the game disconnect everyone and hard crashing to desktop, leaving you no way of resuming the mission. It's the kind of thing that leaves you feeling hollow. And for those who don't know, you don't get any progress unless you extract, so basically, every resource and XP collected throughout the mission is lost. Now, everyone's favorite topic, the anti-cheat. Arrowhead have stated that the game uses nprotect GameGuard, and a quick Google search brings it up as an anti-cheat kernel-level rootkit software similar to other games such as Fortnite, Valorant, Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, etc. People are mad that this sort of anti-cheat is in the game, saying that it can be very intrusive and potentially dangerous in some cases, depending on how they program such software. But to give you my honest opinion, I know very little on the subject, and it tends to get political, so I'll just say this. Throughout my life as a gamer, I've experienced all sorts of cheating in plenty of other games. Sometimes it's hilarious, but other times it can really ruin your fun, invalidate progress, or even get you banned through no fault of your own. And with cheat developing being an industry worth hundreds of millions, I don't think it's going away anytime soon. But I do, however, think it's important for games to have an anti-cheat to at least slow down the inevitable. Use the game Escape from Tarkov as an example. A fully PvP extraction shooter that has a whole economy outside of the game based on cheaters selling gear to players and even boosting accounts, all for IRL cash. And they do this by using aimbots to kill players and other cheats to vacuum up all possible valuables inside the map, and even from players' inventories. But what's the point of cheating in a PvE game like Helldivers 2, you ask? Oh, you sweet summer child. Remember, Helldivers 2 has friendly fire, and that's not even the main concern. If you just dip your toe into the cheating communities, you'll quickly understand that these sort of people get off solely and exclusively by ruining your day. All in all, I don't know if what Arrowhead did is right or wrong, and as of yet, I haven't seen any blatant cheating.
Oh, 9,009. Oh
yeah,
my
bro, Sudoku must be crazy at that game.
What's up?
Sudoku must be crazy at that game.
Oh, yeah, no.
999.
I stand corrected. But anyways, let me know how you feel about this topic down in the comments. Just remember to please keep it civil. Next up is any gamer's favorite phrase, the live service model. You heard right, Helldivers 2 is a live service game, and the devs are going all in on it. But what does that even mean? And more importantly, what does this look like in Helldivers 2?
If you think of like a traditional live game, we tend to think of a live experience as constituting of a series of parts. We really want to model a different type of live service, or something that's just specific for this game and specific for the people we're building for. The core part of that for us is to not just do what we would normally do. In a typical live game, you would sort of, you'd launch a game, you would hopefully keep it going well, and then you would periodically put out DLC, right? And you would observe what players do, and you'd think back and you would send out some new content. We're going to do that too. We're excited about that. We're invested in the future of the game, absolutely. But we also wanted to take a little bit of inspiration from how really rapid response parts of the industry work. Parts of the mobile industry work this way, of course, but at a different scale. Very few companies have tried to respond live to players in the way that we are hoping to.
Arrowhead are playing Dungeon Master to shape the stories of individual battles as well as the shape of the entire universe. In one of our games, for example, Dave was handed a 500-kilogram bomb to use, and Saga says that's the impact of a guiding human hand.
One of our team members was observing your playstyle and debated what to do and was like, I'm going to drop them this extra stratagem. So we have this Game Master functionality where we can drop in more or less things like buffs, but sometimes debuffs will happen too. A good challenge sometimes can be really valuable. Imagine how tight it was towards the end of some of those missions. What if you had to hold and defend the extraction zone for twice as long as you did before? There's this meta-narrative going on that's playing out at the galactic level based on what actions the community takes. The war, therefore, that you're playing in plays out almost in real time. Players who join us from day one, they're going to experience the entirety of a full story arc. They'll see everything all the way through as it unfolds, as Super Earth, arrogant as it is, digs itself into deeper and deeper problems. So these are the two levels of Game Master functionality that I think are really unique to this game, and I'm really excited about, but also might be a little hard to see right at launch, because they play out on a longer time scale.
This bigger picture stuff is incredibly exciting, but don't forget that it only works because minute-to-minute battling is so crunchy and compelling.
I feel like that pretty much explains it. But will that help the game succeed, or will it be its downfall? Every game does it differently, some to great success, like Deep Rock Galactic, Fortnite, Destiny, etc., and those who kill their own game because of it, like the most recent game, Suicide Squad. Now, in my previous video, I mentioned how I hope this game didn't come out with half its content missing, and while it is an amazing game, I can't forgive them for not including vehicles when the maps are so vast, even if they promise to implement them in the future. Is this part of the live service model? Did they just not have enough time to implement it? I don't know, but I'm getting tired of walking everywhere. And coming from Helldivers 1, it doesn't help that I can definitely tell that we players have a much slower running speed this time around. So Metanot, are you saying this game is bad and it wasn't worth its price tag? Well, out of the 50 hours that this game has been out, I've played for close to 25, and that's only because of these invasive human needs like eating and sleeping. Even with the problems I mentioned before, the core of the game is an incredible experience. Once you start, it just sucks you in and doesn't let go. But the gunplay, the gameplay, and the game loop as a whole are so well thought out that if you ever think to look at the clock, you realize you've been playing for 10 hours. So, is every other part of the game perfect? Oh no, of course not. It has its fair share of random issues, small graphical glitches that sometimes pop out, people getting locked into the pods, not being able to use your primary. I even played alongside a random who couldn't use any of their stratagems the entire round. But you know what? For some reason it doesn't bother me at all. Based on how this game is meant to highlight how feeble and replaceable your Helldiver is, any sort of non-game breaking bug just makes you believe that it's less of a bug and more of a feature that adds an extra spicy challenge for you and your crew to overcome. Also, to briefly touch on the Warbond system, people are saying that it's pay to win. I don't think so, at least not as much as people complaining make it out to be. I mean sure, the grind to get more super credits and Warbond medals is definitely there, but the way they have it structured make it so there is never any rush to unlock everything, since you can always unlock any past Warbonds at any point in the future. I'll talk more about this in future videos. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm fanboying over this game, but even including all the issues mentioned, Helldivers 2 is in my opinion worth its price tag. I even bought the Super Citizen Edition and I remain a happy camper. The way this game makes me smile every time I get into that drop pod, selecting my loadout and launching into the planet, all to the tune of an incredibly gorgeous and patriotic music that just reminds you of the good old times when game developers actually gave a damn. Yeah, that feeling I believe won't get old anytime soon. And that's just the loading screen. I'm fanboying over the loading screen. Anyway, the gameplay itself has another mountain worth of praises too. The maps you play on are full of character and make you feel immersed. The tense atmosphere where not taking out a scout party fast enough can soon have your team overrun with enemies. The vast amounts of co-op gameplay where your entire team has to work together to survive. Sharing resources and tactically placing airstrikes trying not to kill your teammates because that really is a danger. And it's hilarious when it happens. Lastly, the feeling of going up against hordes of enemies, beating the odds and extracting at the last second with a sliver of health left is something that will keep you hooked. If I were to give Helldivers 2 a rating, it would be a strong 5 stars. with 3 out of 5 bug nests completed because of the missing content and issues. I think it's worth the money, but again, this is just my opinion, and please do more research if you are still on the fence. Anyway, this has been Metanaut, see you on the next one.